Well, hey, Becoming Me. I'm so excited for you to meet my friend, Jackie. Jackie, welcome to BecomingMe.tv.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be with you guys.
I'm so excited for you to be here and for Becoming Me to hear your story today. I know just through our friendship over the years, I've been encouraged and challenged by you. And I just know what you're going to share. So many women and men will be encouraged and empowered to become who God made them to be as well. So to kick it off, why don't you just share who is Jackie?
Well, I am married to Stephen Brewster, who's a creative guru, right? And he's great. So we have 4 kids that are 2 teenagers and 2 elementary kiddos. They run us ragged. And so they kind of make up a little bit of who I am, right? But I'm originally from Massachusetts, moved to Florida at 16, ended up marrying Steve at 21, and then he has dragged me all over the place. So I think that I'm just hit 40 this year, and I think that I am finding out who Jackie is. I'm like, okay, this is who I am, and being comfortable in my own skin. So I love a good dance party. I love to cook. I love relationships. I love to walk and talk. That's probably one of my favorite things to do. I love to go to the gym with partner, and I value people speaking truth into my life. So that's who I am.
That's some good stuff. I love it. And I know that you have a dynamic story, and I'm excited for you to unpack that with us today. So unpack your story. What's made Jackie who Jackie is today?
Okay. I think that I've been, thinking through this a little bit, and I'm going to have to move my computer as we talk.
You're good. Hey, we get to walk and talk. What are your favorite things?
I guess because it's raining. So let me get underneath the umbrella. Sorry about this.
That's good.
Okay, here we go. So one of the big things, I think, a couple years ago, I was just struggling. I had 4 kids and we're in ministry full time, and I stayed home, but still, if your spouse is in ministry, your whole family is in ministry. Yeah. And so we're just having a really difficult time with getting everything done and feeling the pressures of everything, like people's needs and our kids. And I came across this scripture in Proverbs, and I read Proverbs all the time, but this one particular scripture has stuck out, and I feel like it's probably my life scripture. I really do. It's the one thing that I'm like, this is that I come back to, probably sometimes weekly, daily, monthly. But it's Proverbs 8:12. And in the Message, it says, I am Lady Wisdom, and I live next to sanity, and knowledge and discretion live just down the street. And at this point in my life, we have twins. And so they were probably 4, maybe 5, but it was chaos, chaos in my home, with bedtime routines and screaming, and nobody's going to eat what you cook, and you can't find the clothes that you're going to wear, and then kids are sick, and it was just chaos. And I just remember feeling like, I don't want to keep doing this. This is not fun. And reading through the Word, because I love the Bible because it's truth. So I like to read some self-help books, and I love good stories, but I love to go to the Word because that's truth to me, and it speaks to my heart. So when this particular scripture came across, I was like, oh, wait a minute. This means that I actually have control over my environment. And if I want sanity, then I have to lean into what I know, and what I know about my family, and what I know works, and what I know about margin. And when you don't have margin, there's usually chaos and crazy. And so I just kind of pulled back, and I was like, okay, wisdom and knowledge, that's the stuff that we've walked through. And how do we use what we walked through to be able to kind of put barriers around our family and protect us? Because in ministry, it never stops. It's 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and it can run you over. And so I think, I read Lisa Turker's The Best Yes, and that was a life changer for me, because it's hard to say no to really good things. It's hard to say no to really good opportunities. But if we want to do great things, we have to say no to some really good things, and give ourselves permission to do that. And so that was a hard one for me. And I'm not a people pleaser, but like, you know, really great things coming through. Like, hey, do you want to head up this volunteer position here? Or do you want to lead this over here? And I want to lead everything because I think I can. And then, and then it was like, oh, but if I do these things, what happens to my family? What happens to the time that my kids need? And I think it's stages of life. So what that looks like 5 years ago is different than that looks like today. Because today I do work part-time, and sometimes it's full-time hours. You know how that is in ministry too. But knowing that they're older and that they're doing well in school and that my big kids can be alone. There's all these, you know, different things that can happen. But that scripture has probably made me who I am in ways in ministry and in life to be able to say, hey, I'm really firm on these boundaries. You know, some people are like, wow, you really just can say no to things. And I'm like, well, when you weigh them against what matters, I can say no. And I want to live a life that I want to be in.
Yeah.
Right? Like I want to be excited to live in this life. And so if I fill it with everybody else's expectations of me, then I lose me and I lose what God's called me to do. And so if you say yes to everything, chances are there's not going to be room to say yes to the thing that he's called you to do as we continue to scoot underneath an umbrella more and more.
You're just dropping the mic all over the place. This is so good. Oh,
so anyways, sorry.
You're great.
This is my life. This is really like, come on with me. Let's journey this together. But I think we've learned that. And I will say that even though I know these lessons, that doesn't mean that it's easy to practice them. So we took a position at a great church in North Carolina called Freedom House Church with Pastor Tori and Penny Maxwell. They are phenomenal. We love them. We are on a great team. But getting back into the swing of things here, at the beginning, it was like 1,000 miles an hour. And you know, and you're like, oh my gosh. And then I had to pull back and remember that scripture that God gave me about setting boundaries around our family to protect it. So that if I just said this to a young husband that is on our team the other day, he was talking about his work hours. And I said, well, you know what? One thing I know is that nobody will ever tell you to go home. Yep. Like if you're going to stay, they're going to let you stay. And the other thing is we have to make sure that we keep two things in check: our relationship with Christ and our family. Like those two have to be top priorities. And if we are doing ministry without those things healthy, then everything we do doesn't really matter. Yep. So, you know, at the end of the day, it's the marriages that stay together that speak volumes and even through tough times, because Steve and I have been married 19 years and it has been a roller coaster. But you know, when you stick through it and you commit to, like, it takes two to commit, you know, so there's some of that kind of stuff, but you've got to protect yourself. And I think that that's part of our story is like learning, not just in ministry, because he's done music business too, learning the boundaries to protect our families and our sanity, you know, and so what are the things? So this year, I'm so glad, like this is going to keep me held accountable because I need to say it out loud. I just really feel like this year needs to be a year of like self-care for me. One of our twins was born with some issues, and so she's had lots of surgeries, and we've had lots of health stuff that we've had to deal with through the years. And because of that, my self got put on the back burner. And so this year I'm like, okay, I've got the boundary thing, you know, we're pretty solid right there. So what's the next thing? And then I really feel God's pushing on me, like, it's about taking care of you, because I want you to run the race for a long time. And you have to take care of you. And that means spiritually, and that means physically, and that means relationally. And so that's kind of where I'm at and who I am today. And the journey of becoming here has been great. You know, it's been so horrible, and some seasons have been really, really rough. And Steve and I don't sugarcoat that stuff because that's life. And then, you know, we've dealt with lots of kid stuff, and I don't sugarcoat that stuff either, because sometimes other moms just need to know, hey, you're not alone.
Absolutely.
Hey, my kid grows down too. Like you, yes. Like I have to cancel plans sometimes because you can just tell the way that it's going, and I don't reward bad behavior. So, and I do punishments that don't punish me. So my kids have early bedtime. I'm like, no, I'm not going to punish myself. I'm not going to take, no, your bedtime, it's early bedtime, because I get a reward out of that. It's like getting soaking wet.
Oh no.
I know, this is so funny. This is so me.
I love it. But that's what I love about Becoming, because Becoming is unfiltered, and it's not sugarcoating things, and it's showing up and being who you are and showing all the parts of life, and not just making it a glossy, perfect thing. 'Cause that's not Becoming. So I love it. Like, thanks for unpacking your story and your journey. And y'all, I was not kidding when I opened up and said that I'm inspired and challenged by Jackie, because in the last however minutes she just shared her story, I was inspired and challenged again. And I can guarantee you're sitting there scribbling notes, feeling inspired and challenged too. I mean, even what you shared on, you want to live a life you want to be in. I mean, as simple of a statement as that is, it's so powerful and such a reality check for all of us. We want to live a life you want to be in.
Yep. I want to wake up and be like, oh, I'm excited that this is my life.
Exactly. And we have the power to choose to do that.
Yes.
So often we get stuck thinking that other people or circumstances or expectations dictate that. And that's not the case at all.
Right.
No one else has that power. So I love that you shared that. And, if you were sitting and we're having coffee, you're hanging out, you're encouraging another woman on her own becoming journey, what are some other truths that you would speak into her?
I would say that if you're young and you're just starting this journey out, go after your dreams. So if your dream, like my kids know, one of my biggest regrets is that I didn't finish college. My biggest regret. And so if there's dreams in you now, go after them. Don't wait. Don't wait on financial stability. Don't wait on, whatever you think is like that thing, like you're waiting for that thing to happen. Go after them now. And if it might be chunk by chunk by chunk. But if you start that today, then, 10 years down the line, you'll see God working it all together. So I would say, don't put yourself on the back burner. Don't allow somebody else's dream to overshadow yours. So a lot of the times we get into cycles of building other people's dreams, and we let go of our dreams. And most of us will probably find ourselves in a job that is helping fulfill somebody else's dream. And I think it's good. But inside of that, what are the dreams that God has placed inside of you that you can hold on to? Maybe it's that you feel called to write a blog. Well, you can still be working full time and write a blog. Maybe you feel called to volunteer in a certain position that's not within the church. Maybe it's at a hospital holding babies in the NICU. Maybe it's maybe you want to work at a dream center and you want to tutor kids after school. Like maybe it's you want to run a half marathon, or a marathon. Go for it. Like, that would be awesome. But so don't allow your position to hold you back, I guess is what I would think, because I think we can get exhausted building other people's dreams because we've let go of ours. But if we are finding passion, and we are being diligent about going after the things God's called us to do, while we're on this journey, helping other people accomplish those things too, like, greater together. Like, we can do amazing things when we're together doing it.
Oh yeah.
And I guarantee you that your dreams and passions tie into the people around you. So the better you are, the better they are. The better they are, the better you are. That's what I think. That's what I would say. Absolutely. Like, don't be afraid to dream, and dream bigger than you are.
I love that. That's so good. I don't mean this lightly or just say it to say it. You really are an inspiration to me. And just, doing this becoming journey with you, watching from social media, and then when we get to meet up in person, like, you really do encourage and challenge me. So thank you so much for sharing the gift of you with us, and inviting us in on your becoming journey. Like, you're amazing. Thank you, Jackie.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for having me.